we see goalkeeper Clow gets a start alongside Branley, goal defence, Price at wing defence, Watson comes in at centre, Brown at wing attack, phenomenal performances in that first game. Wood comes on at goal attack, didn't play yesterday, along with Thwaites at goal shoot, who didn't play either.
And here is the Sri Lanka team. Sevu Kalvala getting the start at goal shoot, not as we might have expected. The very tall Tajini Sivalingam, Sri Lanka saving her for later. Mendes in the shooting circle with her at goal attack. And watch out for centre, Amaravansa. This is her 35th Test cap. So there's actually quite a lot of experience in this Sri Lanka side. Jayasuriya, the captain, at goalkeeper, directing operations from the bank. So the history between these two sides goes right back to 1956. The score that day was 18-8 to Australia. So, you know, how scores have changed, probably played outside Australia, on their way to a tour of England on that occasion, stopped off in what was then Ceylon, played the test, but now is now, and we're all set. Well, straight away, a penalty. Sri Lanka get this game underway.
Yes.
Up against Australia.
Sri Lanka throw in.
Clow not really having to do too much on that occasion.
Lost from your hand, goalkeeper. Sri Lanka throw in.
Misfired pass.
Oh, in fact, it deemed to have come off the hand of an Australian. So perhaps she did a little too much.
Yeah, must have got just a little tip on that as it came across the circle. That's lovely.
Oh, unfortunate for Sri Lanka. She was shooting off balance. Hasitha Mendes, so no luck there. Here come the Australians. Nicely done. That's the lean frame of Jayasuriya. Test number 46 for her today.
Used to be a high jumper.
And wouldn't that be a handy skill to have in this game of netball?
Definitely, we like so Thwaites, not as tall as Bassett, but still.
Wood taking that pass at pace. It's as though she's thoroughly enjoying being out there, Steph Wood.
Yeah, very handy goal attack.
Australia. Yeah, that was good work by Australia,
yes.
Just pushing Sri Lanka until they had absolutely no room. Watson at centre for this game.
Sri Lanka.
Not quite the connection there with Thwaites.
Almost similar to the mistake we saw early on from Sri Lanka, just going across the circle, not getting the angle quite right.
Contact wing defence, penalty.
Well, Australians all over Wathagetara.
Wing defence beside.
So Rajapaksa steps up for the free pass. Yeah, great defence, Australia.
She had no option whatsoever, sat in front.
And again, though.
Hellbot, you can't hold the ball for more than 3 seconds. Hence, it was called for a held ball.
Watson gets the ball away to Kelsey Brown. Lisa Alexander tweaking again her lineups, as I'm sure all the coaches in these higher ranked teams are doing, testing combinations and sharing the load.
Yes, and especially when you've got 8 hard games in 10 days. That's back-to-back netball. You play one day, you're back on court again the next. You need to be able to spread it around your squad of 12.
Contact centre penalty.
Amarawansa looking in, looking high.
Throwing in the goal circle.
Now also going high.
Circle. For what goal attack?
Just her second test.
You want time
Sarah
for
Clow.
what? Whole time goal attack.
Good footwork
injury.
here and good elevation to get back on up on that.
She had a great debut the other day, Sarah Clough, in her first game,
Throw in.
pulling in ball from all over the show.
How impressive your debut is at a World Championship.
Advantage
And
of
once
side
again,
ball
Australia
defence.
repel Sri Lanka. Making sure she stayed in court.
Australia really using this ball well, but great attacking contact call, deemed to push off.
So Australia not having it all their own way in these early minutes of the first quarter.
Lisa Alexander talked about discipline in that pre-match interview, and I think that's down to some of the work yesterday, the amount of contacts they were called, attacking and defence.
Advantage contact centre.
And Sri Lanka now make their way. Nicely done. Mendes.
Contact all defence.
Ah, it's a beauty. Sri Lanka on the board. Big cheer from the crowd.
Crowd loves an underdog.
Well, I think too, it's good recognition, isn't it, of some of the efforts required by these countries to even get to an event like this. No connection there, Kelsey Brown gladly picks up for the Diamonds. No problem for Caitlin Thwaites.
4 from 4 from her.
Injury goal shooter.
5 from 5 after that last one, 100%.
And I think we have a very early substitution for Sri Lanka. While we re-look at that shot, making her way on court.
Bellingham,
Tajini Sivalingam, yes.
6'10".
Has been a dominant player for Sri Lanka over a number of years.
And she adds that bit of experience as well to this squad, 40 years old.
And let's just see how Sri Lanka use her, because this is often the challenge, isn't it? Oh, look at the pace from Brandley. Well done, April Brandley. The difference, isn't it, often?
Advantage break goal attack.
Fitness in these higher ranked teams. They can go for the full 60 minutes, most of these players.
Definitely, and it's also where they're playing as well. Pretty much the whole of this great shot there from Steph Wood. Playing down in the Suncourt League. And as with all of her teammates, and getting week in, week out, pressured games against world-class opposition.
Advantage contact goal attack. Throwing Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka don't have that opportunity.
It's Jamie Lee Price flying over the top. Abby Wickramer helping out at the back. Tall goal defence, one of the more experienced players in the Sri Lankan side. And here she is, Sivalingam.
Goalkeeper, you make contact on penalty.
Well, she'd done the right thing, Clough, because Sivalingam stepped in.
But Cloud just tipped her hand though as she did step in, and you just got to hold strong as a goal defence and force that.
Fabulous numbers for Sivalingam. Highest volume of shots over the first 2 days of the competition. And the next closest behind her, one Caitlin Bassett.
Free pass.
Yeah, I'm sure we may see her on court at some stage today.
Beautiful play from Steph Wood there, just running that baseline, popping at the right time. Good from Kelsey Brown. Oh, as we see her there at wing attack, just keeping that ball on court.
Little pat from Jayasuriya to Thwaites. So just over 7 minutes remaining in this first quarter, 12-2.
Injury, Singapore.
And now we've got another change for Sri Lanka. Wathagedera remove. Oh, in fact, it's quite a number of changes. Keep up, Pam.
I'm lost. We'll see when it settles down.
From the end, goal attack, penalty.
So not that time for Sri Lanka. Australia again in possession. So has moved from centre to wing attack for Sri Lanka. In fact, it's a straight swap.
On this right wing
There's
attack.
Watson getting the start at centre. Interesting to see which option Lisa Alexander settles for. We've seen Liz Watson at centre. We've seen Paige Hadley, of course, there. We know Jamie Lee Price can play there.
She's got plenty of options, and they all bring different things. Jamie Lee Price more a defensive centre. Liz Watson's more attacking. See her at wing attack.
I suppose one issue is, of course, if you move Price out of that, then who do you have at wing defence? But, of course, we've seen Branley at wing defence, Joe Weston at wing defence. There'd have to be some of the taller wing defences around.
Definitely. Arm span.
Oh, it was quick hands. So here you are, eyes peeled on the bottom of your screen. There's the lineup for Sri Lanka as it is now.
Good quick hands there from Wood. Nice how she rolls the front, and Thwaites is just ready there. Nearly a turnover, but Kelsey Brown is not letting that ball go.
On this obstruction wing attack.
To work hard for everything, aren't they?
Yes, they are, but that give and go, so much better for them. They play the ball off, they move into space. That's good connection. We see a long ball go across, but then they play it short and sharp.
Wanathelaka able to... Oh, and hey, take this. They don't stop trying, Sri Lanka.
Australia forcing Sri Lanka to come back up court for these balls, but they're still pegging their way down, making ground each time. Now into the circle.
It's interesting, isn't it? They're reluctant, aren't they, just to put the ball up.
My contact, goalkeeper penalty.
This young woman, 1.65 metres.
Yeah, goalkeeper.
But she will give the option to Sivalingam. She adds one more for Sri Lanka. 3.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Look at this. This is how they won possession.
Great elevation. Abekun there, just going straight up in the air, getting a tip to it, making it really difficult for Brown.
That's it. And perhaps that's why they don't put it in so often.
Yeah. She got too close to that baseline, so as the ball went back, it was always going to go out of court.
Oh, lucky there for Thwaites. %100% shooting so far for Australia. 6 from 6 for Steph Wood. Not so sharp on that occasion.
That was Abekun again, running hard on that line off that centre pass.
Contact over defense outside.
Badly called.
Outside of the circle from the end, goal defense.
Oh, the full 360.
Penalty. Yeah. Obstruction, goalkeeper penalty.
Singer Living again, 100%, 3.3.
Well, Sarah Clow went for it. Oh, in fact, it couldn't have come off her. Throw in Australia. Here they come, at speed.
They break so well, don't they? And that was good from Steph, running hard to the baseline, which pulled both defenders and let Thwaites come top. Lovely technique, doesn't she have?
Goal attack. You need to stay on side.
So 19-5, Australia suddenly a little bit of a flourish in the dying stages of this opening quarter. And they're having real trouble getting this centre pass away.
Obstruction, goal defence, penalty.
Nice little pop pass.
Obstruction, vantage goal.
I wonder, Pam, how far Singaling actually has to put that ball up. If she's 2.06 metres, goalpost isn't much taller than that.
No, at 10 foot is the goalpost. And so once she puts her hands up as well, she's pretty close.
Vantage contact, goal attack. Contact on hand, goal defence, penalty.
Another penalty against April Brandley. She's picked up a few in this quarter. That's number 5.
Obstruction, goalkeeper.
Even though she is so close to the post, she still needs to lift that. Use your legs. That was much better.
So Australia are going to have to be super quick here. We know they can be. Are they aware? Well, that was a good job by Sri Lanka, actually containing the Australians on that last centre pass in the first quarter. But a very good quarter for the Diamonds. They lead Sri Lanka at the end of it, 27. Well, it was a very busy first quarter from Sri Lanka. Every position changed except goalkeeper. Second quarter underway, Sri Lanka in possession. Australia in front. Oh, they're fighting with the 3 seconds. As Australia push Sri Lanka to the sideline. And the Diamonds, they certainly make life difficult for the Sri Lankans.
Good teamwork there from Price and Clow. Oh, but just getting her foot caught on the ground.
That's all right. Well, when I say it's all right, she's fine.
Yes,
she's not hurt.
Exactly. And she's smiling as well, as we see off the screen. As she takes this ball there. Oh, just that twist of the ankle.
Nice little story about Jamie Lee Price back at the World Cup in Auckland in 2007. She was there. She was the young, I think she was about 11-year-old who carried the sign saying Australia as they marched into the stadium. And look, here she is now, fully fledged member of the team.
That's what's so great about these tournaments. Making young athletes believe that one day they could potentially be on this court like Jamie Lee Price has done.
Oh, so calm and cool, Steph Wood.
See this here. Brandley just coming out, good timing. Thwaites enjoying this quarter.
Here's the Sri Lankan lineup. The one change there at goal defence. Nayaka coming in, but there were a raft of changes during that first quarter.
Yes, everybody changed bar goalkeeper, Jaisora.
Yes, the captain. She is their rock at the back. Australia scoring at will at the moment. The ball just really slipping out of Rajapaska's hand. And gets hot here in the arena. And that's a nicely placed ball, Kelsey Brown.
Yeah, Thwaites is doing well here. She's coming off the body, she's moving, she's not just playing that holding shooter. She's working that circle nicely with Steph Wood. And that's where they're sharing the load a little bit. Steph Wood getting her 8th shot of these 27 goals.
And I'm wondering if you can hear all the cheering and yelling. It's a safe bet if you hear that. It's because Zimbabwe is in the house. They're going onto the court next door to play Northern Ireland. Wonderful atmosphere here with the two-court system. And there you can see as Zimbabwe run onto the court.
Working wing defense, free pass. Come this way.
They gave Australia a little bit of a headache yesterday, especially in that third quarter.
Yeah, they did. In the end, Australia too strong, 73-37 over Zimbabwe. But what a moment, first outing between those two countries. Never mind, this is Sri Lanka versus Australia, and quick work by the world champs, who are still yet to miss. Jay Syria called. Steph Wood adds one more.
Very confident, isn't she, on that shot?
Ball defense breaking. Far side.
Was this the third day of the World Cup? A few things are starting to become a little clearer, and probably you could say Sri Lanka, Singapore, Fiji, Samoa will be battling it out for the lower rankings, 15th, 16th, 15th, 14th. There's a few games to go there yet. Civilian directing traffic. Oh, she's accurate.
Wana Theleki there on that shot at goal attack.
Oh, Kelsey Brown looking long, decided to go for the shorter option to Wood.
Yeah, nice from Wood just to come out of the circle to break it up a little bit so that the ball didn't have to go right across the circle, and then she could lay it off to her centre.
Near the Australian bench warming up.
Obstruction, goal attack, penalty pass.
Lisa Alexander not making any changes so far.
Very good.
Oh, she's calm, just stepping out of the range of the Australian defender.
Yeah, really clever there, just taking that little bit of a step to get some more space for herself to put the shot up, but the ball just flies down so quickly for Australia.
Yeah, talk about space to put the shot up.
Well seen there from Jamie Lee Price.
Thwaites had the whole circle. Yeah, big guard from April Branley.
Hot potato on this ball. But what Australia are doing really well is they're working together on this defensive end. You always see two of them going for this ball.
You could see Steph Wood wanting it, finishing beautifully.
Yeah, that's why she wants it, because she knows she can put them away like that. Little step back, just to give herself some room against the defender, and a lovely high shot.
Goalkeeper, obstruction, goalkeeper.
So again, Jay Syria called for obstruction. I think just her hands out.
Obstruction, goal defense, voltage goal.
Halfway through the second quarter, 34, in fact 30, yes, 34-9. Australia comfortably in front.
What a shame there. Thought the ball was going to land in her hands.
Great pick-up, though, from Rajapaksa. Well, I tell you what, I'm well impressed by this young woman.
Yes.
Wanathaleka.
She's come on so well, hasn't she, in this wing goal attack position. She's been fast, she's been quick, she's been not afraid to put the shot up.
14th test today for the 27-year-old.
Vantage break, goal attack.
Not overawed at all by the status of her opponents. Somehow Sri Lanka hang on to possession.
Goal attack. Goal attack. You need to stay onside.
Sivalinga.
Centre pass, stay onside.
She has played some netball out in Australia.
I'd like to see her just move a little bit more, but to create spaces like that.
Australia.
Yes, draw both defenders away, leaving the room for Wanathaleka. Well, it's not working too badly for them at the moment.
Wait for the whistle, wait. You're breaking.
Absolute shooting masterclass from the Australians at the moment. 22 minutes of netball gone and not a miss.
Great defensive pressure here from Australia. Not too much, just as they get the ball, they just needed to hold it for a fraction of a second to let the play settle, because Australia on the attack are so dominant.
Well, just as I counted up the minutes, that the shooting had been perfect. First miss of the match for the Diamonds.
Vantage offside, doing defence. Traction goal defence, vantage goal.
Makes up for it on that one, she doesn't miss again. 26 from 27 for Caitlin Thwaites.
Vantage goal, back centre.
And that was nice work from Kelsey Brown.
Yeah, great footwork off that centre pass from Wood, and then the second phase from Kelsey Brown.
Ready, settle down.
Oh, all alone.
That's the one Sri Lanka were looking for.
Great vision.
Doesn't even allow herself a bit of a smile. Look, there has to be a lot of pressure on her, though, because the expectation with that sort of height, you know, it must be tough.
Yeah, definitely. And also she's putting up so much of the majority of shots for Sri Lanka that she's their go-to girl. But she seems calm. Seems like she's soaking up the pressure. When she does get the ball in her hands, she does shoot, and shoot accurately.
She's the best shooter at the 2011 World Cup in Singapore. Didn't go to Sydney 4 years ago.
Possession centre, Sri Lanka, yes.
Test number 97 today for Sivalinga.
Yes.
Oh, she's got the arm up.
She wants it. Great.
And that was Brantley caught with a head down.
Yeah.
So just under 4 minutes left in this first half.
Goalkeeper penalty. Goalkeeper beside.
Soria's picking up a lot of penalty counts, isn't she? 10 already to her name in this first half. And that just eases off the pressure off the shooters, because you know you're going to have a free shot. There's no armed 3-foot mark over you as the defender stands by your side.
Wing defense. Wing defense. Yes. Throw in.
Yes, it's all about the pass. It has to be perfect.
It does. Yes, she's tall, but it needs to be pinpoint into her hands.
Offside, wing defense.
Nice from Steph Wood. Lovely one-handed bounce pass across the circle, and then she drives the baseline to get it back.
Contact goalkeeper.
They make it look easy, don't they, the Australians?
Ladies, settle down, please.
See this bounce pass here, straight across around the defender. She waits, she gives it a moment, lets the defender set, and then she goes hard against that base.
Come this way, come. Wait for the whistle.
30 goals from 31 attempts.
Advantage, contact goalkeeper.
Wanapaleka on it again. She's on 100%, set 7 from 7.
Advantage, contact centre.
Lovely roll. Thwaites, quick hands, quick
Advantage,
footwork,
outside centre.
and a goal to finish it off. She has a smile. That was a lovely connection. We just see her come out of the roll there. Quick one-handed pass to Steph Wood and gets it back again.
I imagine Thwaites will enjoy being on court. Didn't get on yesterday against Zimbabwe. Closing in on 50 tests. This is number 49 for her.
Yeah, 3 Australians not making the court yesterday. Clow and Wood having a little rest.
Sharing the load.
Sharing the load. That's the right terminology for it. Thwaites is doing really well in terms of getting that back space. She's drawing Jayasuriya to the top of the circle and then using the back because she's creating that space for herself, so she's not so close to that baseline.
Oh, you could see there, Clow deciding I'm going out for this.
Yeah, read that a mile off. She sat on the top of the circle to make it easier for herself.
She had 4 of those against Northern Ireland in the first game.
Obstruction, goalkeeper penalty.
And again, Jayasuriya.
See here, she was just positioning herself. She was close enough to the goal shooter. If it went over her head, she could have got that, but high enough that she could come out for that turnover.
Australia march on, but Pam, you've got to say, Sri Lanka on 15. They were targeting 30 for the game, so they are on course.
They are indeed. And that's, I think, the difference with having a positive mind, a positive goal. Yes, they know they're not going to win this game, but what can they do to show they're improving, to show that they're learning from each time they step on this court? I'm not sure how that's allowed to continue.
Actually, I suppose, is it because she's not the player with the ball that she was hanging on to the goalpost? But who will know? We can discuss that at half-time, because there is the end of the second quarter. Another good one for Australia. And at the break, they are comfortably in front. 47-15 over Sri Lanka. As the Australians return to court and the Sri Lankans, they all seem in pretty good cheer. Sivalingam takes her place under the goal. Australia get the second half underway.
Good front hold there from Thwaites. She's strong, isn't she, under the post? She uses her feet, but keeps her positioning.
Interesting to see Paige Hadley on a wing defence. I think that's just the one change so far for the Australians.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Price has gone to the bench.
Lovely elevation from Branley. Penalty there for the goal attack. Wasn't given Branley her landing space. So here's the Australian lineup. Just the one change. I'd have thought Lisa Alexander would titivate a little bit more.
They're starting to give more players opportunities to play full games, I think, so that they can get that under their belts.
A nice take from Thwaites. Lovely long ball from Kelsey Brown.
And that was because Liz Watson drew wide. Brown is on it again, picking up that intercept.
Center. Penalty pass.
They make it look so casual, the Australians.
They are really running the Sri Lankan defence ragged, using the momentum, using speed, changing the angles,
Goal attack.
getting their heads turning.
Oh, you can see Thwaites, she wanted it straight away.
She knew she was in great space. Watch this here. Yeah, just pulling off. She's sly, isn't she? Defender doesn't know she's gone back and can't come with her.
And that's 5 very quick goals for Australia at the top of this third quarter.
Wing attack, one step back and yeah.
Sri Lanka yet to score. Could this be it? Pops it in, Sivalingam.
Yeah, when they get that ball to her pinpoint right into her two hands, she's very strong. It's when she's taking it on that one hand that we see it go off the back line or tipple off into a Australian defence's hand.
Australian fans will be enjoying this display.
Top class shooting from Steph Wood, 14 from 15.
It's contact, wing attack.
And pressure.
That's what I love to see, a goal attack on the defence as well. She didn't get the intercept, but she forced the pressure and it goes off the back line.
And just a stretch too far for Wanathaleka. She's having a pretty fine game. 7 from 7, the Sri Lankan goal attack. These soft hands all the way down the court with the Aussies.
Goalkeeper. Goalkeeper, obstruction with the goalkeeper. Yes, right there.
To see the first thing Steph Wood did when she got that centre pass, look down.
Yes, and that's key. You need to turn fully. All coaches always say, as soon as you get the ball, turn fully so you can see the whole court and you have more options available to you.
Untouched centre pass. Goal. Goal to, yes.
So 4 minutes gone. 8 goals in this quarter to Australia.
Centre, contact advantage, take home.
After a 27-second quarter. They are flying, and I bet trying to hit that 90 mark, which is the current World Championship record for this competition.
Both England and South Africa rattling up 90 goals in their games.
Beautiful, Steph Wood. Good take there from Watson. So much strength she showed and the composure to then do that lovely feed into the circle.
Clow at one stage moving right off Sivalingam, but Sri Lanka still not sure enough to put it in. That one fell beautifully.
She misses right onto the post, but tall enough to get her rebound. And why that was different and more accurate, even though she did go on the side with the one hand to receive the ball, the angle of the ball that came, it wasn't going off the back line, it was going across the back line.
Now tippy toes from Thwaites, nicely done. That's a great view down onto this court as the rest of the Australian squad limber up, or limber down in the case of Jamie Lee Price. Kelsey Powell. Looks as though she's been through a bush backwards.
Yes.
Well, she might. She's been very busy on the court. Had a very good start to this World Cup. MVP in the opening game.
Great feed in. Again, Thwaites, how she's holding so well, but that case, no, she came off it too early, which allowed Jayasuriya to get up for that ball. You've just got to hold your hold a fraction longer. When the ball's over your head, then you make your move.
And look, that's enough, isn't it, for a defender like Jayasuriya just to think, yes, I can pick up the odd ball. Yes, keep going.
Indeed. Through Cloud's hand. As she went up for this, came off the body, came round, but just over her head.
Nice collect.
Good take and good, oh! You would have expected Sivalingham to do better there. She needed to move her feet and help her teammate out.
Varms obstruction wing defense. Yes.
So Abby Kern having to stand down. Time for a little bit of chit-chat on the Australian bench.
This short play from Australia is really working for them. Defenders just not having any opportunity to get any intercepts on them. We just see one from the whole game for Sri Lanka.
After each goal too, Steph Wood looking up at the score bench. I just wonder if there is a target that they've got. She's checking each time just to see if she's meeting it.
Definitely, and I think that's what these top teams will have against the lesser teams. Having quarter targets set for themselves that they work to achieve. It has to be perfection that they're working towards each time.
And if you can hear what's going on next door, I'll tell you why it is so rowdy. It is 23-all. Between Northern Ireland and Zimbabwe. Thrilling game, and a lot riding on that game, because as I understand it, the winner of that will face New Zealand tomorrow. And the loser, I think, Malawi.
Nice. Good, strong take.
Wait, swings it right across to Watson. And Steph Wood revelling in her court time today. Just under 6 minutes remaining in this third quarter. 64-19. Sri Lanka will have to step it up a little bit if they want to keep on track for their target of 30.
Yes.
So good ball placement here. Just playing those little short passes, waiting for it to open up and unlucky, but her foot was out of the court. Oh. That will be painful. Look at this elevation and core stability, but her toe was over the line.
Obstruction center.
No such problems for Caitlin Thwaites at the other end. 65-19, Australia dominating Sri Lanka. They last met 8 years ago, 2011 in Singapore, 97-20 that day.
Oh no, on that centre pass.
Well, she knew as soon as she'd let it go, had Rajapaksa, that was not going to find its intended destination.
But she didn't have anyone coming forward for her. Both her wing attack and goal attack stayed behind the line. She needed someone to come out, give her an option to offload. As we see this here. Yeah, both working behind. Steph Wood making it look so easy. 22 goals from 23 attempts.
Sri Lanka work it round the edge of the circle, then go up and the big step in. Oh, but she's got the rebound though.
That was great to follow it through. She saw that she was just about to miss it, but she kept going so that she can get that rebound. Good strong take in two hands, steps in, overcooked it. Needed a little bit more height on it so it didn't get the distance.
There's a quick change there from Sri Lanka. So Jayasuriya has a little bit of a sit down. Avi Wikrama comes on at goalkeep in her place.
Nice. Sri Lanka now starting to be a bit more clever on the feeds into the circle. They're getting to the edge and they're putting the ball high. Australia getting a lot of tips. Branley, the first one off that centre pass. And there's Watson now using that sideline. Sri Lanka needs to come off that left-hand side, which they do well, nicely. Opening up the court.
Oh, they're working hard here, Sri Lanka.
See, those balls aren't going to make it. It needs to be direct into her two hands. Lovely vision, good baseline drive.
Obstruction keeper.
So 24-7 late in the third quarter.
Contact, wing attack penalty. Yeah? Contact center, penalty pass. Yes. Goalkeeper, contact.
Thwaites continues business as usual. 48 from 49.
Violence obstruction, center. Violence obstruction on your fence.
Oh, high and proud from Steph Wood.
Nice. Off that 1 foot again. She gets more momentum.
And that change of free pass in the goal third.
So last minute of this third quarter. 26-7. So again, very dominant for Australia.
They just use every little bit of this court, don't they? They changing up the angles, they use their depth, and then they find the shooter on the post. Great over ball here for Thwaites. And again, she's good at just delaying that pull-off.
Well, Sri Lanka, if they go quickly here, they can add one more. Are they aware of it? I don't think so. They're going the other direction. Oh, and that's good defensive work by Australia. They hold Sri Lanka up. And at the end of the third period of play, it is all the Diamonds. They lead Sri Lanka 75-22. These Diamonds will run out the game. Final quarter underway. Australia, Sri Lanka, 75-22. The Diamonds shining very brightly in this game.
And these players on court have definitely been consistent throughout this game.
Contact goalkeeper.
Yes, Clow, you could see she wants to get out there, get amongst it.
Just inside,
Just got her timing ever so slightly wrong.
Yes.
Nice from
Contact goal
Wanathaleka.
defense.
She's come on since that first quarter. She's been pivotal in feeding the circle, but also on that shot. 7 from 7, 100%. But this was smart from her. She had the pressure on from Branley, popped it into Sutherlingham.
And that was a good bit of work by Sri Lanka. Almost 3 seconds for Australia. They very quickly regain their composure.
Vantage offside, wing defense. Contact, vantage goal.
Oh, lovely work, Branley. And then directing traffic.
Vantage offside, wing defense. Vantage obstruction, goalkeeper.
So Rajapaksa, the change. She returns to the centre position.
Vantage break, wing attack. Vantage obstruction, centre. Vantage offside, wing defense.
Kelsey Brown hasn't stopped running all game, and the key to
Obstruction,
that is
vantage
she
goal.
found herself so free on that pass because of all the movement she does off the ball.
Vantage break, goal, wing defense.
The Australians playing such a different brand of
Contact, goal
netball than
defense, penalty pass.
Sri Lanka
yes.
are used to. Used to playing the likes of Singapore,
Advantage
Malaysia,
goal,
those
contact,
Asian
contact.
countries. It's not as physical, it's not as fast. That's why it's such a challenge for some of these lower ranked countries when they come to the World
Goalkeeper
Cup.
penalty. Yes.
Sri Lanka ranked 18th. I think Singapore ranked 24th.
Sri Lanka have upped their world rankings now. They went up 2 places to 18th.
And that's when these World Cup events become so particular, isn't it? Or interesting, I should say. It's towards the latter stages of the tournament when like is playing like. You get the teams that are more evenly matched playing each other. And look at Kelsey Brown.
She is on it.
Vantage
In a game on her own.
Just world class.
Vantage offside, centre. Vantage obstruction, wing defense. Vantage goal, contact around, goalkeeper.
Watch her here, how she runs that. She moves her feet so quickly, she get her hands to it, and she was smart. She didn't try and pick it up because she knows she'd either
Obstruction,
footwork or
goalkeeper
replay it.
penalty.
She just tapped it back on the court to her teammate.
Full time. You're persistently breaking on the other team's centre pass. I had a quiet work with our caution.
So a caution there.
Amara Wansa consistently breaking the line. And so the umpire telling her, you need to stop, and I'll give you a caution too.
Sri Lanka pinned down in this middle section of the court. Still not out of it. Now they are.
Contact, centre, penalty pass. Yes.
Clow tips it to Branley and away come Australia again.
So quick down that court. And it's that
Obstruction,
first
goalkeeper.
outlet ball as well. They get so much depth on it. They don't faff around with it in the end third. They just get it out.
And I'm sure Sri Lanka don't want to faff around with it, but they simply can't get it out. But it's totally different, isn't it?
Goalkeeper. 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 Hold time, please. Goalkeeper, I want you to get your distance right.
So a little word of advice from the other umpire to the Sri Lankan goalkeeper. Eddie Wickrama.
Vantage offside in
Just to
attack.
get the distance right.
That's what I like from the umpires, those clear, concise messages. instructions, sorry, not messages.
Throwing.
Brown again,
Sri Lanka.
but seems to have stubbed her finger on that. Sandringham needs to change her angles. You can't just put your hand up saying you want the ball. Move your feet. Better pull it in though.
Throwing.
Now she'll be disappointed.
She will. This was a lovely ball in, but that one hand she went with it. She's stronger when she takes the ball with two hands.
Yes. Bondage contact center.
Oh, quick hands from the Diamonds. Steph Wood applauds.
4. Time. Hold time. Goal
Weston
shooter.
looking as though she's at the bar doing ballet exercises.
Over here, wing attack.
So Sivalingam goes for a sit down.
Bondage contact center. Bondage break on defense. Contact, goal defense, penalty pass. Yes. Yes.
86-24.
Contact,
More than 8 minutes
center,
still to
penalty
go
pass.
in this game.
Yes.
No luck this time.
That's her first miss of the game. Wanathalaka, she'll be annoyed.
Bondage outside, wing defense.
She goes on one foot, but Clow got good distance on the defence.
A beautiful long ball finds Steph Wood.
And that's from Brown.
Hold
How
on,
well
please.
is she finding her shooters today?
And the target under the goal for Sri Lanka is now Hasitha Mendes. Started the game at goal attack. He's been on the bench. And now Mendes comes in to goal shoot. Comes all the way down to transverse, then thinks, jeepers, I've come a bit far, better go back.
Contact, goalkeeper.
A little
Penalty
bit of
pass.
pinball.
Goalkeeper. Contact.
The tip there from Bradley. Oh, awkward for Watson.
Yeah, right into her face.
Oh, the back from Bradley. Oh, how clever is that? Over the back.
Really clever, getting the tip, following it up, and keeping it on court.
Obstruction, goalkeeper. Hold time, please. Goalkeeper, this is a caution for persistent obstruction. Done on.
Well, we heard a little bit earlier, didn't we, the umpire just give her advice that she was too close. Now it's the caution.
Yeah. Look
Watch
at
this.
Great time in an elevation. You have to be on it to be able to do that. It's a very good skill to have.
Also, too, just knowing that you weren't going to get through to pick it up, just batting it back, having the faith that one of your teammates is going to be behind you to pick up. Australia hit 90. So I think you can probably rest assured that they will finish this game with the highest total so far. And there it is, just like that.
They have been ruthless. They have made sure every minute of every quarter has been to the max.
Voltage offside centre.
And their shooters haven't disappointed them. They've played every part in that. Thwaites, 59 from 60 on the board. Good defense, nearly getting 3 seconds there, Australia.
Obstruction, goal shooter.
Really pressuring in this middle third.
Paige Hadley just about ran the court twice. This time.
Shooter.
Wow, just
Not allowed.
Mendes just gave a little bum shake onto the post to push Clow off the court. So attacking contact called, and that goal doesn't stand.
Advantage offside centre.
Into the final 5 minutes of this game. Australia rampant, 93-24 over Sri Lanka.
Advantage obstruction, wing defence.
Sri Lanka, remember, had been hoping to get to 30 goals.
And they were on track coming into this last quarter, but so far only haven't been able to score 2 in 11 minutes.
Certainly, Rajapaksa not dashing back to the centre circle to get the game underway again.
Jordan. Contact, wing attack, goal third.
Yeah, this has been a tough game for Sri Lanka.
Here they are again, pinned down. Now they make progress. Oh, she was on.
She was, and that's again that difference. Not able to turn fully and offload quickly. The skill level,
yes,
just that little bit lower.
Contact centre, penalty pass. Yes.
A nice guard from Clow.
Contact when defence, advantage on the offside. Contact, yes. Advantage obstruction, goal defence.
Sure, Australia would like to get the ton.
Centre. Obstruction, goalkeeper, advantage goal.
5 more goals needed. Great offload there from Wood.
And this margin very similar to the one 8 years ago, 97-20.
Hold time, please. Centre, that's a caution for deliberate contact.
So this time, Rajapaksa with the caution.
Just
a few of these cautions piling up, and I just wonder if it's a case of players getting tired. And now Sivalingam wanting to come back on court. And here she comes again.
I think that's one of the rules that needs to change if it can, that you have to call an injury before you can able to make a sub. So players just fake it and point to their knee or point to their ankle, and the umpires have to let them go.
And everyone knows it's, what they're doing.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Balance obstruction, shooter.
Good tracking back there, Brandley.
Advantage contact, wing attack. Obstruction, wing defence, penalty. Advantage obstruction, centre.
Those are pretty good-looking stats, aren't they, for the Australian shooters? Incredible numbers.
So, yes, very happy with those numbers.
Advantage obstruction, wing defence.
It's almost a given now in this competition. We're seeing all these top 5-team shooters hitting those 95% plus.
98-24. You'd have to, deftly done. You'd have to fancy Australia's chances of racking up the century.
Well, if Sri Lanka continue to play this ball, it's like they know and they don't want Australia to get that 100. They're just playing it around between themselves.
And this is what's interesting, isn't it, with conventional netball? Of course, if it was fast 5, you can't do that. You'd be told to use it. You have to go forward.
Yes, you have to keep attacking the game.
But there's nothing to stop Sri Lanka just doing this for the rest of the match.
We've not seen them hold the ball for this long throughout the whole game.
And now you can see the Australians perhaps getting a little bit frustrated.
Goal defence, penalty pass.
Yeah.
Well, this is fascinating.
With the goal defence.
This will be psychological for Sri Lanka. Someone getting 100 goals against you, that's a big mark. So if you can stop it happening, Fair play to them.
Contact, wing defense, penalty pass, yes.
Well, this will really frustrate the Diamonds, because I would have thought they were absolutely on course for 100 goals.
Contact, center.
They get the turnover. 17 seconds to score this, and then it's their centre pass.
Contact, center.
Yeah, now the umpire's called to hold time. She knows what's going on.
She's advancing it, but only 11 seconds now to score this and then take their centre pass and score. Have to be very quick.
I'd back the Aussies to do this.
Voltage contact, wing defense.
Until that goal missed. So Australia denied the ton, but overwhelming victors over Sri Lanka, 98-24. And I suppose you could criticise Sri Lanka for the spoiling tactics, but then why not?
Exactly. For them, someone getting 100 goals, as I said, against them, that's a big blow to you. They managed to keep them to 98. They didn't make their 30 target, which they were aiming for. We thought they would be on track after the third quarter, but only scoring 2 in that last quarter let them down.
So very steady performance from the Diamonds. 20, 27, 28 and 24 the quarter scores. And they held Sri Lanka in that final quarter to just 2 goals. Caitlin Thwaite's outstanding.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. How good was she? 65 out of 66, only missing 1 goal the whole game, 98%. She was available, she was accurate.
Well, they'd be pretty pleased with this, won't they, the Diamonds?
Also was Lovin Brown at wing attack. She dominated in that middle third. Getting intercepts, but also feeding the attackers so well. You know, when you have a good wing attack that places the ball in the right space, when you get it as a shooter, you feel, okay, I'm comfortable now. I've got a nice, easy ball. I can turn to the post and shoot.
So here's the breakdown of the numbers, 99-24.
Yeah, really good here from Australia. They dominated, they were consistent. They got the turnovers, made Sri Lanka work 41 numbers of turnovers. That's how many times they made them make mistakes. Penalties equal, they were both putting equal pressure on each other. But it was the consistency and the turnover for Australia, 101 shots at goal.
Well, let's go down now to Hannah Wilkes, who's with the player of the match.
Well, Kelsey Brown, a dominant team performance and a dominant showing from you in mid-court. How did you find it out there?
Yeah, it was definitely a tough game. I think those ones, it's you've got to stay with it for the 60 minutes, and we want to show as much respect as we can to all of our opposition. So I was really proud of the girls today. I thought we hung tough when it got a bit frantic, but yeah, I was really proud to be out there.
There were moments, weren't they, where Sri Lanka tested you a little bit and put pressure on you. What were they like as an opponent?
Definitely. I think their pressure in especially the first quarter, they had a lot of body presence, and that's something that we're going to come up against later in the week. So, yeah, I found the game quite challenging at times, and Sri Lanka, especially with that goal shooter, yeah, a one to watch.
The biggest score we've seen so far in the tournament, is that one that the girls are going to be buoyed by heading into these latter stages? Good to get another big win? Yeah, it is good to get a win like that. However, I think coming up later in the week, we're not going to see games probably with that blowout. The games definitely don't feel like they're the scoreline that they are, but yeah, I think for us it's just going back, making sure we're working on doing the basics well, and that's what we want to take into the later parts of the week. Well, we wish you the best of luck for the rest of the week. Thanks very much, Kelsey. I'll just bring in Lisa. I mean, you asked for consistency before the game, and it's safe to say, looking across the courses, they achieved that out there, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, and I think particularly Paige Hadley coming onto wing defence. We know what she can do out there, and she got ball for us, and she was terrific in attack as well. So I thought she was a great change up there.
It was interesting, the lack of changes you made to the 7 players on court, considering the scoreline. What was the thinking behind that? Because usually in those situations with a margin that big, we'd see coaches changing it up a bit more.
Yeah, we're very conscious of the fact that we can change it up, but we need to also exploit our ability to play 4 quarters and have people being able to concentrate for that level of time, because later in the week they will have to do that. So that was part of our planning.
Sri Lanka did frustrate you a little bit towards the end, keeping hold of that ball. How much would you like to get that century of goals?
Yeah, no, we needed to do 4-second defence then, or go back to one of our structures. Malawi will present that challenge to us as well, so we need to put our thinking caps on.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.